at Wrigley Field today as the Kansas City Royals come to town for the first time since 2001. And it's the first Budweiser Bleacher Friday. Interleague play begins for the Cubs today. It's the first of a 3-game weekend series. Great to have you with us. It's the Beach Bash theme out in the bleachers this weekend. Jim DeShays and Len Casper. We've got our swimming trunks on. You can't see those right now. So the Royals are here. They've dropped 4 in a row, but they kind of picked up right where they left off last year. They're tied for first.
Yeah, they're an interesting club. They remind me a little bit of the St. Louis Cardinals from a couple of years back. They don't hit a lot of home runs. They don't steal a lot of bases. They got a bunch of line drive hitters. They play outstanding defense. We highlight a couple of the individuals. Lorenzo Cain, an outstanding outfielder. He leads the American League in all-star votes in the outfield. Alcides Escobar likewise at shortstop. Mike Moustakas really coming into his own at third base. He's a Gold Glover. They got Gold Glovers all over the field. Edison Volquez, nothing new about him. We've seen a lot of him. He's 7-0 in his career against the Cubs.
Jake Arrieta will pitch for the Cubs today. Now, he's faced the Royals in the past, but not really the same club. It's been a few years.
Yeah, most of the guys in this roster do not have much history with Jake Arrieta. When facing them in the past, he's done well, 2-0 against them in his career with a 3.12 ERA, and he's been lights out since joining the Cubs here at Wrigley Field.
Should be a fun weekend. Big crowds expected all weekend long as the defending American League champs are here. Remember, they took the Giants to the brink in the World Series last year. Good measuring stick for a young Cubs club. We have Cubs baseball next.
Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. AT&T UVerse. Find out what's possible with AT&T. Call 1-800-PIG-ATT. Mobilizing your world. Ford. Check out America's freshest lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com.
And we'd like to welcome all our viewers watching on Cross Cable in Manhattan, Illinois, on the American Forces Network around the world, and also ESPN UK. And it's hot and it's muggy. We've got a big crowd here. The weather should be interesting this weekend. We may have about a 35 to 40 degree drop in temperature tomorrow night, but summer-like weather here this afternoon.
Sultry, warm, sultry day. It'll be a challenge for the pitchers, pitching in the heat and humidity. We would talk about the wind blowing out, but so far this year that hasn't been as big an issue as we might have anticipated. There's been 3 or 4 games where we're talking, man, it's going to be a 10-9 game. Balls are going to be flying out of here. The pitchers have been able to pitch better than the elements would indicate. See how it plays out here today.
The Royals have been coming here for a long time, playing the White Sox, but the first time against the Cubs in Chicago in 14 seasons, as Jake Arrieta will face this Southwest starting lineup written out by their manager, Ned Yost. They lead the majors in batting average, although they've scuffled here as of late during a 4-game skid. Escobar, Moustakas, and Cain at the top. Hosmer, Perez, and Gordon in the middle. The veteran Infante at second. Paulo Orlando getting the start. Alex Rios should be back off the DL tomorrow. And the pitcher, Edinson Volquez.
Defensively, the Cubs have been a little shaky with the infield play of late. Here's how they set up this afternoon. Junior Lake gets a start in left. Dexter Fowler center. Jorge Soler in right field. Third to first. The customary program. Bryant, Castro, Russell, Rizzo. Miguel Montero behind the plate. The Lexus pursuing perfection. Starting pitcher is big right-hander Jake Arrieta. 4 up, 4 down. 2.95 the ERA. He's been awfully tough to hit. League batting just 229 against him. He's allowed only 3 home runs. And he has been very comfortable here in his home ballpark since joining the Cubs. He's 11-5 with a 2.12 ERA here at Wrigley Field.
That's Accrucci. Tom Hallion in his 23rd season. Bruce Dreckman's at first. Alfonso Marquez at second. And Chicago native Dan Molino is over at third. And it will be Escobar to dig in. With the wind blowing out, the lights are on as we get started just after 3 o'clock. We'll have some shadows here that'll start to creep onto the field in about an hour. First pitch swinging. Escobar out into very deep left center, and it's gone. A leadoff home run for Alcides Escobar. That's his second of the year. And it's quickly 1-0 Kansas City. And ironically, that's not what the Royals do. We're not a home run hitting team.
No, next to last in the American League in long balls. They've only hit 34, make it 35 now with that swing of the bat by Escobar. For the most part, the team that hits a lot of line drives, they hit for high average. They don't walk, they don't strike out. And Escobar with a little first pitch ambush. And the Royals take an early lead.
Moustakas goes after the first one and bounces to Russell for the out. They come out hacking. And it'll bring up Lorenzo Cain.
That was a common theme for them in their recent 4-game losing streak. They've scored just 1, and 3 of those 4 ball games they scored 2 in the other.
Cain, the American League Championship Series MVP last year. Fastball at 95 for a strike. Missed up and in. 77 degrees, south wind, although right now kind of southwest. It's blowing out, to put it that way. And it's going to, if the forecast holds up, blow in tomorrow. Nice backhanded play. Bryant, long throw, and it's offline. That'll be an infield hit for Cain.
Nice play on the backhand side by Bryant. Long throw across the diamond. Unlikely you're going to get Cain. He runs quite well.
Now Eric Hosmer, a 2-time Gold Glover. They've got a lot of first-round picks. Hosmer, the 3rd overall pick in 08 behind Tim Beckham and Pedro Alvarez. He looks at ball 1.
Yeah, it takes, a little bit of a leap to think about the Royals as a good team. They were so bad for so long. And those bottom of the division finishes put them in pretty good stead in terms of the draft picks, and had a lot of young talent come up in recent years. But they're legit, no doubt about it. Some people wondered about that last year, just kind of a fluky run. The way they've played so far this year, 10 games better than 500 leads you to believe that last year was not a fluke.
Yeah, they've kind of played like they've got a chip on their shoulder. A lot of prognosticators, as you mentioned, did not have them back as a first division club. They've been involved in several bench clearing incidents. They've been hit by a lot of pitches. Kind of young and brash.
From 2004 through 2012, they did not have a single winning season. They finished last 5 times, and their average finish during that run was 26 games behind the first place club.
1 ball, no strikes. Here's a pitch, a big cut and a miss. And a slider at 90. 1-1.
They were hardly royal during that run.
Touche.
They were rather surf-like. They were like peasants.
Bryant way off the line at third. And Hosmer taps it foul.
High average team. 281. That's
best in the majors.
Yeah, 30 points better than league average. So they slug, not because they hit a lot of home runs, because they hit for high average. They hit a lot of doubles. Bullpen better than the starters. And the approach at the plate just completely different from the Cubs. It's kind of going to be a fun series to watch.
Double play ball. Russell feeds Castro, and they turn it. Castro ended up on the deck as Kane went sliding in, but no damage done. Leadoff homer Escobar. Cubs coming up when we return. It's a hit. Benny's Beverage Depot will donate $100 to Make-A-Wish, Illinois. Let's get the Cubs Southwest starting lineup. Dexter Fowler hit cleanup on Wednesday against Max Scherzer, but back in his customary spot atop the order. Bryant, Rizzo, Castro, 2 through 4. Miguel Montero, the catcher. You see off to a very good offensive start. Jorge Soler playing right. Junior Lake in for Chris Coughlin in left. Arrieta, the pitcher, still looking for his first hit of the year. With the rookie Addison Russell batting ninth.
Well, Gold Glovers are potential Gold Glovers all over the diamond for this Kansas City Royal Club. Alex Gordon has won 4 of them. He's just brilliant out there in left. Lorenzo Cain in center field. Paulo Orlando plays right field. Moustakas, Escobar, Infante, and Hosmer third to first. Hosmer's won a couple Gold Gloves, as has Salvador Perez, a strong arm catcher, and the Lexus starting pitcher is Edinson Volquez.
And a first pitch strike on Fowler. Volquez, well, he had a really bad year in 2013. Padres and Dodgers collectively a 5.71 ERA, but the last 2 seasons, Pirates in 2014 and now with the Royals, JD, totally different.
Yeah, really good for Pittsburgh last year. A 13-game winner with a low ERA, and the Pirates got a bargain. They paid him $5 million, but he parlayed that good work into a 2-year deal with the Royals, plus an option.
Broken bat ground ball to Infante, who will take care of him. 1 out.
And, you know, the most important thing that Volquez has done is cut down on the walks. Still in his career, double-digit walk rate, which is way too high, but that has not been the case the last couple of seasons. And just learning to dial it back a little bit, not trying to overthrow, pitching to contact a little bit more. Got a good lively heater, curveball, and a swing and miss changeup. It's probably his best pitch.
Facing Chris Bryant. Volk has 6 feet 220. A singeing fastball at 96, but a little low for ball one. Bryant with his first 91 career plate appearances without a home run, but he's now connected 7 times in his last 77 trips as he yanks it foul.
Such a good hitter at every level. And given what we saw early on from him, he looked like the kind of guy that was going to be able to make adjustments on the fly, and that's exactly been the case. He's got such a disciplined eye.
So Perez setting up toward the outside, and that is a strike on the breaking ball. It's 1-2.
He doesn't fool easily. He doesn't chase pitches out of the zone often. Everybody does it sometimes.
We get a good look at the grip on those pitches. Volquez, you could see him lift that index finger to throw the curveball. You should be able to get a good look at it when he wants to throw the change from the windup from our center field camera.
A little spike curveball there as he pulls the index finger back, kind of gets it out of the way so he can create that extra leverage for his middle finger where he pulls that seam.
And that's the changeup, and a really good one. And as Bryant strikes out swinging.
Yeah, he gets a lot of swings and misses at his changeup. Even in the zone, typically you talk about a good changeup, and it's a pitch that's moving out of the strike zone. But he really sells it. And against the Cubs, 10 times a starter, 7 times a winner without a loss and a 2.90 ERA. 3-0 here at Wrigley with a 3.63. In the big unit. Got a ways to go to get to the big unit.
2 down, and it's Anthony Rizzo off the plate in for ball one. 23 strikeouts, 25 walks, and he's been hit 13 more times. So, and has pumped up his on base percentage, and love that ratio.
Good atmosphere in the ballpark today. A lot of Kansas City fans here.
1-1 on the way, and it is a called strike.
Royal incursion here. The royal blue and the Cub blue, and we're going to be having some fun out there in the bleachers.
Just as long as the arguments stay fun in nature. Castro on deck. Escobar led off the game with a home run on the first pitch. See, Perez wants this pitch in the dirt. It's not where it ended up. He was tapping the ground, saying, get this curveball down, and it was way up, but he got away with it.
Marquez wants to try another one. Let's try to make an adjustment.
Yordano Ventura will go for the Royals tomorrow. Tsuyoshi Wada moved up a day. Jason Hamill with the fingernail issue will be pushed back to Sunday, and he'll face right-hander Jeremy Guthrie for Kansas City. Called strike 3. Fastball inside edge to end the inning. Cubs go down in order. 1-0 KC after 1.
of fun things going on in the outfielder. That's the sand sculptress, and boy, is she talented. Not only is she out there, but they're playing music, and all of the fans out there in the Budweiser bleachers getting a cool pair of these sunglasses that I'm rocking, which today we certainly need them. But this is part of a 6 Friday series that they will be doing different themes today. The Beach Bash theme, but the next one, guys, coming up on June 12th against the Cincinnati Reds. It'll be a country day, so all kinds of country music and fun things going on. But certainly a nice day to have that sunscreen they're giving away and these sunglasses.
Yeah, definitely need it today. As we mentioned, it's warm. It's a little muggy. Feels like a day at the beach. Salvador Perez, the Royals catcher, leads off here in the Kansas City second.
Free swinger, but a dangerous swinger. He's got power.
43rd start out of their first 47 games. He started last year, regular season and playoffs combined, a major league record 158 times behind the plate. He broke Randy Hundley's old record with the Cubs back in 1968, but he started 156 times, all in the regular season that year. Chop to the shortstop, Castro. Easy play.
So I think Perez is one of those guys, if you're managing him, you give him a pass on routine ground balls like that. Say, don't sell out going down the line. Save your legs. Catching almost every single day. Speed's not a part of his game anyway.
Here's Alex Gordon, the left fielder, one of the best defensive players in baseball. How about a left fielder getting the Rawlings Platinum Glove from last year? Best defender at any position. And he sends this one out into deep left center, and it will go. So the Royals, not known for being a home run hitting team, they have deposited 2 into the bleachers here in the first 2 innings.
But they are known for having a good solid approach at the plate, and Gordon, a left-handed hitter, willing to shoot that ball the other way, gets it airborne with authority, takes advantage of that wind blowing out. Well, that was a good swing of the bat and another first pitch home run. We'll see if Jake and Montero make an adjustment here and start throwing some early breaking balls.
Two to nothing Kansas City. Now Omar Infante, 33-year-old, 14-year veteran, an all-star with Atlanta in 2010, is a super utility guy. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
Funny, the story we heard talking to some Royal personnel here was that in their series at Yankee Stadium, they got a little pull happy. They're trying to jerk the ball out of the ballpark, which is against their nature. They just got a little greedy and had a real bad series offensively. Here you don't have to be pull happy to hit the ball out of the ballpark.
Good to have Dale Swain back in the ballpark, former Cubs manager. He is the Royals hitting coach. We know Dale likes his guys to hit the ball out of the ballpark, but again, it's not really the kind of team they are. Bryant will get Infante. They need to catch the ball at Kauffman Stadium. And that they do. Better than anybody in the league.
Dios has been with the Royals now managing since 2010.
How about he's managed more games than any manager in club history. And he's closing in on being the franchise leader in managerial wins. He's 9 away from Whitey Herzog. Ball 1 on Paulo Orlando. We expect to get Alex Rios off the DL tomorrow.
He's gone from 5th to 4th to 3rd to 3rd, and then last year won the wild card and all the way to the World Series. Took a lot of criticism, did Ned Yost, while managing the Royals last year. The pitching decisions, the fact that he likes to bunt a lot.
That's a strike on Orlando, who leads the majors with 5 triples. His first 3 major league hits were triples. He had 5 3-base hits in his first 7 games, a modern major league record.
Terry Collins just celebrated a birthday the other day. So in terms of age, the elder statesmen, Collins, Madden, and Ned Yost.
Bounce to Rizzo. Arrieta's got a cover, and he gets there. It's a perfect feed from his first baseman, and that'll end the inning. 2 innings in, 2 homers for the Royals. It's 2-0.
All summer long. Sunday night, watch Javier Baez and the Iowa Cubs battle El Paso. Starts at 6 on CSN Chicago.
Two 2-0 Kansas City. Cubs have dropped 6 of their last 10 after winning 6 in a row. Played a lot of teams that had winning records and were in the playoffs last year. If you believe in the strength of schedule, it's not been easy for the Cubs here recently. This is their first of 20 interleague games against the American League Central. Volquez de Castro, first pitch swinging, and he fouls out of play, first base side.
Trying to take a page out of the Royals playbook. Attack early, see if you can get one up in the air. Good aggressive hack there by Castro, but he fouled it back. I was looking at the Cubs schedule earlier, talking about the strength of schedule thing. I guess because there's so much parity in baseball, I'm kind of looking for the easy, stretch in the schedule, and I'm having a hard time finding it. Minnesota, we got them coming up later on this month. All of a sudden, they're good. Cleveland, you never know, especially, it so much depends on what pitchers you run into, too.
Yep. Well, we'll be in Miami next week. They have had a real tough time of it. But then you get Washington and Detroit.
Yeah.
Right after the Marlins.
4-game set here with the Reds to start that next homestand. So they're really scuffling.
Line shot, right field. Orlando makes the catch.
Good swing, good at bat. The words for Volquez on the way by.
Now, when you pitch, did you have catchers who are really emphatic, like we've seen Perez here early on, in terms of pointing to exactly where he wants the ball? When he wants that in the dirt, he's really putting that glove on the ground.
I know a lot of guys do that. And a lot of times they'll try to deke the hitter, too. They'll slide inside, tap the ground, and then move back outside. I don't know if that has any real effect or not. But I'd like the catcher to be really active behind the plate until it came to now when you set that target. And that's one thing He just did it there. He sets the target and then let his hand drift a little bit. I like a guy to just give me a good, solid, quiet target.
Change up, and it did catch the corner on Montero. Don't think he loved that call by Tom Hallion. 1-1.
Some catchers don't like to move. Some pitchers didn't like their catchers to move much. I like guys to set up on the corners.
That'll get down. First Cub hit. And it'll be a long single for Montero. Orlando bobbled it a bit. No chance for Miguel to head to second. Jorge Soler. Did not start on Wednesday, just the second time he's been out of the Cubs lineup, but he has appeared in all 46 games to date. And today would be number 47. So last year, you go into the 7th inning trailing the Royals, you could pretty much mark it down as a loss. And as we get closer to that part of the game, we'll talk more about the top 3 guys in the bullpen. But yeah, it's an interesting team, as we talked about their offense. Don't hit homers very much, don't walk much, hit for a high average, play great defense. And last year had one of the best bullpens at the back end that you've seen. Really kind of the nasty boys going back to the Reds in 1990.
Yeah, just about every bullpen now has a slew of power arms out there, but not only do they have power arms, they have guys that just shut people down.
The 1-1 is bounced just foul. I don't know if he actually bounced it off himself or not. Does it matter?
Shattered his bat. He's going to need a new weapon here, I believe. Sounded like he cracked his bat. Maybe not.
Yeah, just
he cracked Salvador Perez is what he did with that follow through. Jorge's going to lead the league in that. He's got a very long swing and a long finish.
Tom Hallion giving him a little extra time to recover here.
A lot of room on the right side of the infield. Fonte cheating towards the base. Hosmer holding Montero.
Emergency swing just to hang in there. Still 2-2 on Soler. So the Royals, the White Sox, the Indians, and the Tigers will all come here. The Twins, the only team in the AL Central that will not come to Wrigley Field. And we will go to the south side. We'll go to Minneapolis, Detroit, and Cleveland. Ouch.
The AL Central collectively with the best record in baseball, 20 games better than 500. Kansas City and the Twins are both 10 games above the break-even mark. Detroit a game and a half behind those two clubs. Cleveland just 3 below 500. The Sox are 4 below 500. Man, very, very painful at bat here for everybody involved.
Perez still looks like he's not.
I want to back up
at 100%.
A wee bit here. I want to go back into the old days mode when they used to handle the ball on a hop.
Another 2-2, and this time he struck him out.
Well, coming into this start, opposing hitters were batting just 195 against Volquez. Righties actually a little better than lefties. That changeup is so good. It really nullifies the left-handers, and obviously he's comfortable throwing it to right-handed hitters as well. And just finished off Soler. That's his third strikeout. Two of them coming with the changeup.
Because of what you just mentioned, Junior Lake gets the start for Chris Coghlan. Trying to neutralize that changeup a little bit. Your American League standings, the Twins have won 5 in a row and have taken advantage of the Royals' first 4-game losing streak. Detroit always lurking. And the Indians have been pretty good as of late for a slow start.
Hitters will be well served to be willing to shorten the stroke a little bit here today. Try to stay back a little longer to deal with that changeup.
Down by Perez, 2-1. I want to remind fans, if you're coming to the game tomorrow night, bring an extra layer just in case, especially if you're coming from the western suburbs, because looking at the forecast, it could be pretty cold, and it looks like the wind is going to be 20 to 25 miles an hour off the lake. What's the cliche? You'd rather be safe than sorry.
Yeah. Bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. A rolling stone gathers no moss.
Well, I know you've had family and friends come to the ballpark on certain days expecting it might be a little cool, and then their teeth are chattering. So
it's really good down for the vendors because they sell a lot of extra sweatshirts and jackets.
Three and one with 2 outs. The pitch to Lake. There's a strike. It's full now, 3-2. And Brandon Hyde will remind Montero of the count. He'll be on the move, and Hosmer's going to play in his back pocket.
A sense of the level of confidence that Volquez has in his changeup. He just threw it there on 3-1.
There it is. And on a hop, Infante drops it and recovers just in time to get Junior Lake. Good hustle by Lake. And Infante ultimately makes the play. After 2, it's the Royals 2 and the Cubs nothing. Corner, things are heating up here at Wrigley Field. Make your plans now to catch a game inside the friendly confines. The Cubs continue this interleague matchup with the Royals tomorrow night at 6:15. Series and homestand finale on Sunday at 1:20. Get your seats at Cubs.com. There you go, Pat Ron getting into the Beach Bash groove. As Arrieta to Volquez for a strike. First plate appearance this year for Volquez. 085 lifetime. And a one hopper right to Russell for the out. The Cubs are going to try to wear Blackhawks jerseys for BP tomorrow. Joe said he's still trying to figure out if you can take BP wearing a hockey jersey. He said you can shoot a puck and fight in a hockey sweater, but he needs to know if he can swing a bat.
I think you could.
Escobar jumped on the first pitch of the game for his second home run of the season, both of the leadoff variety.
Interesting there, right? So he jumped on that first pitch fastball. So this at bat, he's probably thinking, well, he's going to start me with a breaking ball, and Arrieta pumps a heater right through there.
0-2.
Here's how the day started for Jake. If it was golf, he would have taken a mulligan. They don't allow that here.
Swing and a miss. Strike three. Is his first strikeout. And I mentioned this is a contact club.
Yeah, well, they don't take a lot of pitches. They don't walk. They don't strike out. They're up there hacking. So not a lot of deep counts. The benefit from Arrieta's point of view on a hot, steamy day, he's got a chance to be efficient here and pitch deeper into this game than he might otherwise do against a more patient club.
Stockus grounded out on one pitch in the first at bat. So last year he spent some time in the minors. He hit just .212 in the regular season. Hit a couple of big home runs in the playoffs. This year off to a great start. He has really improved his batting average on balls in play. Last year it was .220. And for his career, .268. This year it's .349. Spring training, he really tried to work on shift beating techniques. Instead of pulling the ball into the shift, try to line the ball the other way, and it really has paid off to this point. And as he pulls one, right on cue, right to Rizzo. And that'll be it for the Royals here in the third. Bottom three, 2-0 for the visitors.
For the game where the pitcher's hitting 8th, understand that's just one time. It's just really one time, and the time that it can burn you, in a sense, would be when the 3-place hitter leads off. That's the potential for bases loaded and 2 outs, and here he comes.
Yeah, Joe has hit the pitcher 8th every game to date. And probably the first time that'll change is when we play in Detroit and we have the DH. Arrieta 0 for 21. He has struck out 14 times. Did hit a home run in spring training. The Cubs looking to get some production out of that 8 spot. John Lester hit a couple of balls hard the other day, but still without a hit in his career. And a strike. It's 1-1. Royals DH is Kendrys Morales. May get a start tomorrow. He's a switch hitter against the left-hander Wada. But you'd like to think you have a little advantage bringing an American League club here, since you're at a bit of a disadvantage when you go to an American League.
Yeah, well, Morales
ballpark.
has been a pretty good run producer for them. But he can play a little first base. Wouldn't be surprised to see him over there tomorrow.
Called strike 3 on the curveball. And 4 for Volquez. There's Addison Russell. To Russell today, he said started lifting weights in the football program when he was in 8th grade. So he was always muscular in terms of his legs, broad shoulders, and really bulked up. And at one point in his high school career, he got up to about 225. Felt like that was a bit too heavy, so he got down to 195. He's back up to 210, 215. But he is really put together.
He's got very strong hands and forearms. You shake his hand and it's like a vice grip.
So Yordano Ventura is going to start tomorrow. Edinson Volquez has been a really good influence on him. He's been involved in some disagreements with other teams where the stuff is just off the charts. And this will be his first career start, obviously, tomorrow here at Wrigley Field. Five times in the first 2.5 weeks of the season, the Royals were involved in bench clearing situations. That's a lot. That's a lot for
a whole season.
Going after it is Orlando. He's not going to get it. Russell on his way to second, and the ball disappears in the vines, and Orlando did exactly what you should do in that spot. And yeah, Russell, keep running until they tell you to go back. And it will be a 2-base hit.
What are you playing? I'm a Titleist. It's got a red dot on it. Never mind. Drop one. We'll just play on.
Kane found it.
First man in scoring position for the Cubs here this afternoon, Russell. You just project him going forward. He's going to be a guy who hits a ton of doubles.
So now Fowler Runner at second, 1 out. Came in hitting .320 against Volquez, 8 out of 25 with a home run. Swinging strike. Nearly hit him. Now 1-2. We'll send out a happy birthday wish to Tom Farinella, the umpire room attendant here at Wrigley Field. And get well wishes to our great friend Andy Akins, who works up here in the press box in the media dining room. And Andy, we hope you're feeling better, and we really hope to see you here on the next homestand. Hang in there. Inside, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Trying to throw that come on back 2-seam fastball that he was able to strike out Rizzo with. Could have been. That's the thing about Volquez. We talk about his changeup. He also rushes it up there in the mid-90s.
Popped in the left field. And Gordon makes the catch. 2 outs in the inning. We talked about hockey jerseys and fights. How about some baseball disputes? Mike Trout and the Angels. This one got really nasty. Ventura drilled Brett Laurie. And then Eaton bouncing back, and they're arguing with each other, and this one got really nasty.
Yep, bodies flying, punches being thrown. Not many peacemakers out there at that point. Everybody wanted a piece of somebody else in the other colored shirts.
The Royals have acknowledged that, yeah, it got a little out of hand, some youthful exuberance, but fair to say they're pretty cohesive as a group. Bryant, the hitter, with 2 outs, driven out toward left center, and the Cubs will get on the board. Russell's going to score. Bryant has 2, and it's 2-1.
Well, the youngsters come through. First Russell, now Bryant with doubles in the inning. If Anthony can have some success with his second look at Volquez.
Rizzo struck out looking in the first inning. Tying run now at second, and a swing and a foul third base side out of play. A throw behind Bryant and actually hit him in the hip, and he's going to hold at second. Didn't feel too good.
No.
Just to follow up on the bench clearing situations, I guess that the ultimate message, I'm sure, from Ned Yost, is pick your battles, right? Because it usually results from fights or suspensions and injuries, and those both are bad for teams in contention.
Yeah, and we hear a lot about pitchers and hitters, and the whole deal about throwing at people and retaliation, and hitters, if they've been hit or somebody on their club has been hit, somebody's got to go down. Well, priority should be winning the game, and then if somebody does have to go down, you got to pick your spot carefully. And a lot of times the players don't have great feel for the game. I've talked to so many hitters over the years. Man, they're throwing at us on purpose. Well, no, probably not. There are instances, yes, where they have, and it needs to be addressed. The intensity, the emotion of the game sometimes gets the best of players, and they think there's malicious intent when there is not.
And by showing all those videos, it's not as if the Royals precipitated all of those incidents as Rizzo strikes out. So the Cubs do get on the board, a couple of doubles. Bryant's RBI two-bagger plates Russell. It's 2-1 after 3. Cubs offered 90-minute guided tours that include a chance to step on the field. This must-see Chicago attraction houses over 100 years of history. For more information, visit Cubs.com/tours. This ballpark was built for the Federal League team here in 1914. Cubs wore Scheifele's jerseys on April 23rd last year, the 100th birthday of this ballpark. They will wear Chicago Whales unis tomorrow evening. So it's the Whales and the Kansas City Packers tomorrow night. One strike on Lorenzo Cain, one of two guys in their lineup, their everyday lineup, who were acquired in that Zach Greinke deal prior to 2011. Escobar and Cain. So it hasn't been all about the drafting. Also some other key acquisitions. 1 and 2.
Right, and that's, it's one of those mixed blessings kind of deals. When you're bad, you draft high, and you also don't have high expectations for your club, so you can trade away talent to get prospects and wait for it all to come together. Was the program in Kansas City, and that's kind of the way things have been moving along here in Chicago the last couple of years, and now the Cubs ready to make their run.
Cain's story is pretty interesting. He didn't play organized baseball until he was a sophomore in high school. Didn't know how to hold a bat or how to wear a glove when he started. Didn't know any of the rules. Turned out okay, though, didn't it?
It's amazing, yeah. Frustrating for all those people who've pumped hundreds and thousands of dollars into camps and clinics and instruction for their kids in hopes that they make it to the big leagues and never do.
3-2 called. Strike three. Tom Hallion with that emphatic twist on the strike three call.
Only Mark Grant could do it better. See the curveball grip from Arrieta, maybe off the outside corner. Good work by Montero, cradling that one back a little bit. I think what makes the Royals tough is they have good balance in their lineup. You know, Moustakas, Hosmer, Gordon from the left side, Escobar, Kane, Perez from the right side. Nobody with 1,000 OPS or 15 home runs or anything like that, but just about everybody in their lineup contributing.
Clouds are taking over here for the time being. Wind still howling straight out as Hosmer bounces one past Arrieta. They're picked up by Russell, and he gets it. Ground ball outs for Arrieta, and the stuff that's been in the air has left the yard.
It's true. The only two balls that have been in the air have been the home runs. He'd allowed just 3 home runs coming into this start. So that hasn't been a problem for him.
Swing and a miss. And Perez. Arrieta since the Gordon home run. He's retired 7 straight. Gordon is on deck. And a 1-strike offering. Another wave at it. 0-2.
Trying to establish fastball early. The Royals took advantage, but now mixing in more breaking pitches. Get it in there.
There's Jake's 1-2. We'll do it again.
Elevated but not in where he wanted it.
Arrieta facing the Royals for the first time since he was an Oriole back in 2011. And a fly ball well hit to left, and another home run. 3-1.
Well, this kind of looks like the Nationals series. A couple of those games where just about every run was a solo home run. The 2-1 game that the Nationals won, Roark over Wada. There were 3 runs scored in the ball game, all solo home runs. Kyle Hendricks start. The Nationals scored 2 runs, both on solo home runs. The Cubs had a couple of those themselves. They're kind of funky in that regard here lately, and there's a Ford home run replay for the 3rd time today. This time not a first pitch fastball, but a deep in the count breaking pitch on the plate. And was able to go down and get it airborne.
Arrieta had allowed 3 home runs combined in his first 9 starts, and has already given up 3 today.
It's like home run derby. You're either out or it's a home run.
So he's already tied his career high with the 3 allowed.
Just got to keep doing your thing. Don't let it get into your head.
Change up off the outside corner. Well, if you'd like to be a glass half full guy, you could say, I'd rather give up 3 solos than You know, 4 walks, 3 singles, 2 doubles, and have my pitch count be at 80. And at least you're still in the ball game. Is that a stretch or is that?
No, that's legit. That's legit because you know, people say, well, he's giving up 3 home runs in 4 innings. He's not having a good day. He's throwing the ball well. Escobar ambushed him on the first pitch, as did Gordon. And that breaking ball to Perez, not a great pitch, but not horrible. Key on a day like today is you don't want to get so gun shy of the strike zone because you've given up a couple of long balls that you start walking people and then somebody pops one and then you're toast.
Soler has to lay out, maybe a little misjudge at first. He lost his glasses, but he caught the ball to end the inning.
He was fooled badly, but a nice recovery.
3-1 Kansas City. Over on the south side of Chicago. Not caring at all about his own health. He just wanted that baseball. Just hope all the fans were all right.
Like a wide receiver going over the middle, knowing he's going to take the big hit from the linebacker. Or whoever it is that's going to deliver that big hit.
Well, Gordon's story is pretty interesting. He was the 2nd overall pick in the 05 draft, and he came up as a 3rd baseman. And he had to tag the next George Brett, which is probably the meanest thing anyone could ever do to a Kansas City Royal. He kind of blossomed late after he had made the transition to left. And he has become a terrific glove man. Castro chops one to 3rd. Moustakas bare hands throw at first late. Castro's aboard. I hope he's all right. Kind of an awkward landing at the bag for Starling.
Yeah, like a sprinter going for the wire, took a long stride to the base, and there's baseball evening out for you. He had a good at bat, hit the ball hard last time for a line out to right. This time a little rollover ground ball, the thing he's trying to cut down on, but it turns into a base hit for him. Yeah, you see him take that long lunge to the base. Hurts my back to watch it.
So the leadoff man is aboard, and now Montero takes a strike.
But it's with getting back to Gordon just a little bit out there enough. It's almost oxymoronic, isn't it? A gold glove or platinum glove left fielder, because left field is the one spot that a lot of times you hide your worst defender.
Yep.
Normally we're going to find your best defender.
Cubs at 25-21. 5.5 back of St. Louis. Now just a half game ahead of the surging Pirates.
Pirates are playing good ball, aren't they?
They've won 7 in a row. Beat up on the Padres last night. Jung-Ho Kang with a 3-run homer.
Montero, he's the type of guy that could definitely take advantage of that wind blowing out to left field. Good power the other way. We've seen him go deep at least a couple of times in that direction. And a lot of times with a good changeup pitcher, hitters will say, well, stay back on the changeup, kind of look away, make sure you stay back, and just trust your hands to react to inside fastball. And with a finesse guy on the mound, you feel comfortable that even if you're kind of, it's always a percentage play. Maybe you're not selling out completely on off speed, but you're aware of it and you're trying to stay back and you hope to react to the fastball. It's a bigger challenge when a guy like Volquez is on the mound who can throw 95 and has that two-seamer that starts at your hip and runs back to the inside corner.
Slide step and a swing and a miss for strike 3.
So as you try to play the guessing game with him, if you're thinking about that inside fastball and try to get the head out early, you become very vulnerable to the changeup.
Now Soler. We've got people watching us all over the place.
Hey, everybody.
Puerto Rico, William Luna watching and rooting on the Cubs. Happy birthday to John Gardner. It's about 5:15 a.m. in Taiwan. He and his buddy Cameron are watching the game. Ray is in the UK.
Oh, UK Ray. Big Cub fan.
Carlsbad, California. Lance celebrating his 38th birthday.
Had a little Larry King working there.
Carlsbad, hello. Yeah. It's actually my Keith Olbermann.
Keith Olbermann, Larry King.
Yeah, it's not genuine. It's like doing the Will Ferrell version of Harry Carey. It's once removed. Hitters count here for Soler, and he bounces one to third. It's foul.
So difficult to preach patience to a young hitter. Patience in terms of his approach at the plate on a day-to-day basis and his willingness to accept the highs and lows of breaking in at the major league level. Soler is a tremendously gifted kid. He's had some good moments. Overall, the numbers aren't bad. He wants to hit for a lot more power than he has. I'm sure they're just constantly telling him, trust the process, hang in there, have good at-bats. It'll come.
It has just started to rain. I got a note from David in Evergreen Park. He said it's downpouring there. Well, David, it has reached Wrigley Field. Not very hard, but just some sprinkles. Three balls, 2 strikes. Will Joe have Castro on the move here with 1 out?
I would be more fearful of the swing and miss, strikeout, throw out, double play than I would the ground ball double play in this situation. Doesn't mean he won't start him. Just means I probably wouldn't start him.
Not running. That ball muscled out towards center, but it's going to be caught by Infante. Tomorrow night, the Cubs will host the Kansas City Royals at 6:15. The first 10,000 in attendance get a very cool 1915 Chicago Whales replica throwback presented by Benjamin Moore. For ticket availability, visit Cubs.com. That's a cool logo. I saw the jersey today. It's an off-white, kind of halfway down button-up. The cap, I think, is navy blue without a logo, and the helmet, it's that matte finish. It's kind of a new look some teams are going with. It's really sharp.
I like the matte finish helmet.
Yeah. Swing and a miss by Late.
And we won't be working in that game, but you will.
I will. C.J. Nitkowski. I get a left-hander.
Good. Should be a smooth transition for you then.
Strike on Lake. So doing some research on the Whales. Trying to give you the Cliff's Notes version here. Joe Tinker, the Hall of Fame shortstop, played most of his career in Chicago. 1913, though, he was a Cincinnati Red, and he was not too happy with the Cubs because he wasn't making as much money as he thought he should. Charles Wiegman, who ended up starting the Federal League team here, had a lot of money, and he overpaid Tinker to not only play but also manage the Chi-Feds. They became the Whales in 1915, and then Wiegman bought the Cubs in 1916. And as most Cub fans know, this ballpark was built for the Federal League team, not the National League club. First 2 years it belonged to the Feds slash Whales. Cubs moved in 1916.
And the Whales won the Federal League, did they not, in 1915?
In 1915, they won on the final day of the season. And then he took some of those players and made them Cubs, including Joe Tinker. And his final year in the big leagues was 1916 as player manager with the Cubs.
Yeah, the squabbles over money, they've been around as long as the game has been played professionally.
2 bounces. Pause by Volquez. Over but low. 2-2. Good take.
Yeah.
Well, that's a pitch Junior would have swung at last year.
Yeah, he's kind of calmed things down in the batter's box a little bit. A small body of work so far at the big league level. I'm looking at his minor league numbers this year at AAA. He had a walk rate up over 14%, way better than he had ever done. He still struck out a fair bit down there, but the fact that he's walked as much as he had, it leads you to believe he's starting to figure it out.
3-2, 2 outs. Castro runs. Ball 4.
Now that pitch right there, in particular, a real chase pitch for him in the past.
I'll tell you, that is a kind of plate appearance that will go a long way in Joe Madden's eyes for Junior.
Well, it's an attention grabber, right? For a guy who's got a reputation at swinging at just about everything. And as I mentioned, down at AAA this year, he's shown better patience. And if he continues to do that, he might get more chances here.
Side on Arrieta.
this would be a good time for his first knock of the year. Walk by Volquez, the first of the game for him. And we talked about his career record and the fact that he's always walked a lot of guys. Has not been the case the last couple of years, but even with that, he's still a pitcher who runs a lot of deep counts.
That is fair.
Tom Hallion had it foul.
Wait a minute.
Tom Hallion had it foul. Dan Bellino had it fair. The ball was in front of the base, so it's Hallion's call.
Yep,
yeah,
it's
Hallion
foul.
taking it. I go foul ball.
Yeah, it is a home plate umpire's call until the ball passes the bag, and there you go.
That's embarrassing for the umpires, but at the end of the day, they hit the base. Wow.
Now, so the question is,
well, fair foul before the base you can't challenge,
right,
but if
right.
it hits the base,
I think it's before. You know what it is, JD? It's that you cannot challenge in front of the umpire. So that I don't think is challengeable. It has to be behind the third base umpire. But you're right.
Wow.
And I think Moustakis is telling Dan Bellino it hit the bag.
Yeah, you got it right, Dan. That's funny.
So big break here. Let's see if the Cubs can take advantage. Hang one, Edinson. Nope. He got him on the very next pitch. So it's still 3-1 Kansas City after 4.
Jake Arrieta back out on the bump, and this is a guy that when it comes to his workout routine, Joe Madden calls him a freak, says he's extremely diligent. And one of the things Arrieta discussed with us in the media over spring training was that, like a lot of guys across the league, he's trying to get away from the lifting and jerking of weights. So for Arrieta, it's Pilates. That's now his way of strengthening and getting stronger. And as you can see from this picture, the Pilates machine, the only place it really fits right now is the interview room where both Joe Maddon and the players will talk to the media before and after the games. And in fact, guys, the other day we're in there talking to Joe Maddon, and Arrieta is on the machine working out. You talk about kind of strange, nothing I've ever really seen before, but certainly something he says he lives by these days. And even Maddon said, you know, have you ever gotten on one of those things that makes you feel really unathletic, but certainly does the job?
Thank you, Kelly. We should get a Pilates.
Is it a reformer? Is that
sit up here?
Yeah.
A what?
A reformer, I think they call it.
Oh,
it's reformer.
Okay. You know, they have those treadmill desks. Maybe we should get one in the booth. You could burn some calories while calling a game. Not that you need to, but if you wanted to.
I could take a hint. This is my mid-game hot dog.
2-0 on Infante. Birthday shout out to Aiden McSherry watching today and rooting on the Cubs.
Arrieta is a beast. He's built like a linebacker. Maybe when he's done, he'll go join Kyle Farnsworth and play football somewhere.
I need a ruling on this. You ready?
Yep.
Okay, so Omar Infante was acquired by the Cubs from Detroit on November 12, 2007 for Jock Jones. Fly ball out into right. As Soler battles his son, makes a catch. And December 4th, 2007, he was sent to Atlanta. So from November 12th to December 4th, he was technically a Cub. But would you say he was a Cub if it happened in the offseason?
No, I wouldn't say so. Okay. He was a paper Cub, but
I like that. A paper Cub.
Paper Cub. To me, unless you've
put on the uniform,
big league game, even if you go to camp and don't make the club, I still don't think of you as a. Like I went to camp with the A's one year, didn't make the club. I don't think that I'm ever an A.
How about you're on a team on an active roster for 10 days, but you don't get into a game? Would you consider yourself?
Well, I mean, maybe the active roster thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Orlando bounces to Bryant. This Sunday, the Cubs will take on these Royals at 1:20. The first 5,000 kids in attendance get a Clark W. flag bobblehead presented by Jewel Osco. Then at the conclusion of the game, the first 1,000 kids 13 and younger with wristbands will be allowed on the field to run the bases, weather permitting. For more info, it's Cubs.com. Wide on Volquez.
Volquez with the old bail and wail there. His foot was headed towards the Cubs dugout.
Arrieta's 1-2 with a curveball in the dirt. All right, Anthony Varvaro. Would you call him a former Cub? Great question by Hayden on Twitter. He was with the club for one day in the bullpen, didn't pitch. We were in St. Louis.
Yeah. I guess I would because he was on the active roster.
Okay. I'm with you. Sorry to make your head hurt. Not my intention.
The question is, what does Baseball Encyclopedia think, or Baseball Reference?
3-1 Royals.
Along on Comcast Sportsnet, brought to you by Nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich. Visit Jeff at jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side. You got a prediction for Game 7 tomorrow night? Besides double overtime?
Yeah. It's tough to predict in hockey, but I'm going to go with the Blackhawks. The Ducks lost a home Game 7 to the Kings, although the Blackhawks did too. Yeah, how about double OT?
Yeah.
Patrick Kane from behind the goal line.
Andrew Shaw with a header.
Russell bounces foul. As we get underway here in the bottom of the 5th. Bunted through it. For strike 2. Well, pack your bags, partner. We're going to be spending a lot of the month of June on the road.
Yeah, I was checking that out earlier.
Moustakas has to bare hand, throw to first. He's out. What a play. And Joe coming up on the top step and may want to take another look at it.
Find a little time to review it. Moustakas, Russell going down the line, knows he doesn't have a whole lot of time. And Hosmer, boy, he can really pick it there at first base. I think they got it right. Just 10 home games the entire month of June.
Side ball 1 on Fowler. Got this 3-city trip coming up: Miami, DC, and Detroit. Later at Cleveland, Minnesota, and to end the month, St. Louis and the Mets. Came off the bat for Fowler. 1 ball, 1 strike. That can't feel too good. So Carl Edwards Jr., or CJ, you can still call him CJ if you'd like, has been promoted from AA to AAA, and those numbers working out of the bullpen with the Smokies. Swing and a miss, he got him. That is number 8 for Volquez.
Cubs farm system obviously very well regarded, considered by many to be the best in all of baseball. It's mostly the position players. Some talented arms down there. Edwards, one of them. Interesting to keep an eye on his development. Cubs struck out 14 times in the ballgame Wednesday. 13 against starter Max Scherzer in 7 innings. Which I guess is right about where you'd set the over-under with the Cubs' proclivity to strike out and Max Scherzer on the mound. Figured that'd be a big strikeout day for him.
Ran into the Hall of Famer Billy Williams in the clubhouse today. Talking about that National Series, Billy said that's the best pitching we'll see all year. He might be right. We didn't see all of their starters, but Zimmerman and Scherzer, Tanner Roark was very impressive.
Yeah, I mean, if you get Kershaw and Greinke back-to-back against the Dodgers, that's pretty stout. Now this Royals club, bullpen much better than the starters. Their starters have a 4.52 ERA. It's the 11th best in the American League. The pen 184, tops in the AL. It's not a surprise. That's a big part of why they were so good last year.
Good look from behind home plate. Here comes the 2-2 and the nasty changeup. Swing and a miss to end the inning. Volk has his band 9, and he has a 3-1 lead after 5.
Are you in charge of planning your next social gathering? Plan a day at Wrigley Field and enjoy special perks only available inside the ballpark. The Cubs offer special ticket packages for groups of 15 or more. Visit Cubs.com/groups.
Cubs hosting the Kansas City Royals. First time here at Wrigley since 2001. The next question is, what's the all-time series, Len?
What is the all-time series?
Cubs 10 wins and 8 losses. Well, good to see our counterparts next door. That's Rex Hudler on the left and Ryan Lefevre on the right. Ryan, the son of former Cubs manager Jim Lefevre, as Escobar grounds out. You're welcome to tell a Hudler story. I'll tell the Lefevre story. He said when he was in college, he was in T-shirt flip-flops, and his dad said, "You're going to hang out with Harry and Stoney in the booth." So in our booth, he walked up and he was standing in the corner, and Harry and Stoney are doing an open, and Harry just grabbed him by the shirt, pulled him right into the WGN Open. Ryan said, "I hadn't shaved in 5 days."
Kid. He was a broadcast major, had a grubby beard working.
Good stuff.
Bright neon cap on.
And you know Rex really well.
I played minor league ball with Hud. A couple of stops along the way in the Yankee organization. High energy guy, boy, the wonder dog. A nice major league career with a few different clubs, Montreal, St. Louis. And Hud was a prospect with the Yankees. He was called up and sent down before ever getting to the big leagues. I think Greg Nettles was the third baseman. Whoever it was got hurt. So they called the minor league manager, maybe Stump Merrill, says, we need Hudler up here. We're going to move Willie Randolph to third base, and we're going to play Hudler at second. Well, this decision was made without talking to Willie Randolph. So they went to the veteran, and Willie said, "Nah, I'm not playing third base." So they had to call back down and say, "Scratch Hudler, send us Mike Pagliarulo." And so And Pags got called up, went on to have a pretty nice year, and Hud had to wait a little longer to get the call. That's hardcore to tell a kid he's going to them. It was his first call up ever. Oh. And if any of you, well, I don't know anyone would know Rex, but maybe some of you watching in a clubhouse somewhere know the Rex Hudler personality. You know how hard that heart was broken when he was told you're not going.
Ball tattered and battered. Yeah, high energy guy.
He was playing second base in a spring training game, his very first major league spring training, and there was a ball hit down the first baseline. He was playing second, and he raced towards foul territory, couldn't catch up to the ball. He did a pop-up slide, and George Steinbrenner was sitting there down in the box, and he just popped up and he said, "That's why I'm your man." And ran back to his position.
Two and 0 on Lorenzo Cain. And a line shot, base hit into center, his second hit of the day. Give Hosmer a chance with 2 outs.
Still a very manageable 70 pitches here as he works in the 6th. This could be a very important inning for him to finish this off. 3-4-5 due up for the Cubs in the bottom half of the inning. Talked about that shutdown Royals bullpen. They have the ability to shorten the game.
Herrera, Davis, Holland. The featured guys out there when they have a lead late.
Royals don't run a lot. Cain would be one guy you have to keep an eye on. He's 8 out of 10 in the stolen base department.
Driven to left. Lake is back on it, and it's going to be off the wall. Cain's going to score. Hosmer to second with a double. That ball landed just beneath the basket. He missed a home run by a couple of feet. And it's now 4-1 Kansas City.
Well, like Gordon, who homered in the second, Hosmer taking that off-field approach. Not just flipping it the other way, but driving it the other way.
By a couple of feet. He missed a home run by maybe less than a foot.
I'm sure Junior knew where he was on the warning track there.
Perez homered in the 4th. Mentioned it early, they hadn't been swinging the bats particularly well. They had scored 5 runs total during their 4-game losing streak coming in. They had just gotten swept in New York. They've had a good afternoon at the plate here today.
Perez got a breaking ball down but over the plate, lifted it out of here.
Yeah, it wasn't a hanger. Late that time. called strike 3, and that will end the inning. But the Royals do add to their lead. They go to the bottom of the 6th. It's now 4-1 Royals. Mobile game changer Edinson Volquez, as we mentioned, has gone undefeated in his career in this ballpark. Former National League starter, 7-0 against the Cubs overall, and has been terrific today.
And it's been a combination of things, but primarily that changeup. That's been his best weapon. Cubs have had a hard time figuring him out. As I mentioned, this is a big inning here. And that bullpen down 3 in the 6th. Should be a good time for the Cubs to inflict a little damage, make some adjustments, get something done here. With
the wind blowing out and with the Royals on a 4-game skid, I think Ned Yost is going to manage this game maybe a little bit tighter than he normally would. As managers usually do, right? To stop losing streaks.
Yeah, they're coming in. They were off yesterday. When you're losing, it's not like you've been wearing out those guys that you depend on to hold leads late. I'm curious to see Holland, though. He had a little bit of a neck issue. Hadn't pitched for a while, and his velocity's been down in recent outings.
2-0 the count on Anthony Rizzo. Royals over shifting on the infield, as most teams do, and ball 3.
I'm not sure what happened to that pitch. Right down the middle. I think Perez is saying that when Rizzo flashed the bunt, he couldn't see the ball.
Let's see.
So Anthony sets the bat right in front of Perez's eyes. Not intentionally. He's looking at taking a pitch there. Hallian, I think, reacting to the awkward movement by Perez, just missed the pitch. And maybe Hallian's now evening the score.
You see the bat right in front of the eye level, and Rizzo not happy with the 3-0 call. Hallian saying to both guys, all right, we're even, let's go.
Yep,
here we go.
Yep.
Sinker foul tipped. Interesting. Perez really animated back there. He put down the sinker, the one, he kind of wiggled the index finger, and then he did a chop straight down, as if to say, throw it right down the middle.
Yeah, don't try to be too fine here. You got a 3-run lead. Rely on velocity and movement, and try to pick a corner.
That one ripped the other way for Rizzo.
So obviously in this at-bat, thinking of himself as a table setter, taking that 2-0 pitch. A little off-field single. Righty up in the pen. It's number 46.
Ryan Madsen.
He's been a good story.
Having his career. Castro has lined out and picked up an infield hit. That is a strike toward the outside.
It's called a strike. I'm not convinced that it was a strike.
So Tom Hallion has upset the Royals catcher, the Cubs first baseman, and now the Cubs.
No, he's right.
TV
no, you got it right. Yeah, you got it right. This is not good.
Astro's got to hurry. They're only going to get one, as Infante could get nothing on the throw as Rizzo was bearing down on him at second base.
And that's sharply hit. And boy, you don't want Rizzo to get a piece of you if you're a second baseman trying to make a turn. Escobar tries to be quick to give Infante a chance. But under duress, doesn't get much on the throw.
So I guess kind of the simplest way to put it, the biggest difference between Volquez and Arrieta, and I think Jake's been really good and more efficient, is that Jake's given up a few fly balls that have left the yard. Volquez has struck out people and kept the ball on the ground. He just has not let the Cubs put the ball in the air at all. And on a day like this, that's what you're trying to do as a pitcher with the wind blowing out.
Yeah, when you look at his, the distribution of outs he gets on the ground and in the air, he is a ground ball pitcher, but not an extreme ground ball pitcher. But he has worked that way here today. Think about all the changeups he has thrown down below the knees. A little runner there off the plate now as he's basically pitching away from power. Hasn't really made mistakes out over the plate with the curveball.
Volquez signed originally with the Rangers 2001 out of the Dominican Republic. All-star with Cincinnati in 2008. This is his 11th season in the big leagues, 2-2. And as we said off the top, didn't look very good for him after the 2013 season, but the last 2 years, combined with the Pirates and the Royals, he's put up an ERA of below 3. Full count, 3-2. Soler on deck. Runner goes. And the ball popped into left center. Castro will have to retreat as Kane hauls it in. Feels like the Cubs offense needs a mistake from Volquez. Something elevated that Soler can put up in the air.
The one thing you can't do if you're Soler in this situation is get beat by a fastball. And that's the one pitch he's really handled well this year. Right here, even if he misses a changeup by 3 feet and there's 4 seconds out in front of it, I'm good. It's 2-0. Just don't get beat by a fastball here.
That's what he's going to get. Just inside.
No. Red light, red light, red light, green light. For me, anyway, I know the tying run's on deck. You're down 3. You want base runners, but getting back to that conversation we've had a fair bit here lately. When do you feel comfortable that you're going to get a fastball?
Well, he said split the plate here. And he drives it to left. Way back, but yes, it'll go. Gordon played it like he was going to catch it. He got the green light 3-0, and it's now a 1-run ball game.
There you go. There's that elevated mistake you were looking for. Great at bat by Soler. Got himself into a hitter's count. Joe Madden let him swing. Joe Madden rewarded by Soler, his 4th home run of the year. I don't think he got all of it, but he is so strong. He got the hands pulled in, got enough barrel on it to get it out of here. How good does that feel for young Mr. Soler?
So,
game on.
Yeah, a 1-run ball game. They're hitting home runs, so you better hit some. And Ned Yost is going to make the call. Say Weber's sauces and seasonings. Call to the pen. Why grill with anything else? We'll be back in the 6th. Ryan Madsen didn't pitch last year. All kinds of arm problems. First time back in the big leagues since 2011. When he was with the Phillies. And he's been really good. Facing Junior Lake. And a strike call.
Yeah, he's always had that kind of Iron Mike stiff arm delivery. Had a number of good years with the Phillies. And he appears to be all the way back. The numbers are very good. The stuff is good.
Gets back to our discussion earlier as it's bounced to third. He spent the entire 2012 season on the Reds DL. And the Angels DL for much of 2013, but never did pitch for those clubs. So Jorge Soler on a 3-0 from Volquez, and the Cubs are now down only 1.
'7 edition of Chevy Blackhawks pregame live, hosted by Coors Light. Watch live at 6:30 as Pat, Steve, and Jamal preview the game. That's Blackhawks pregame live tomorrow at 6:30.
Let's go back to the 3-0 fastball.
Missed away, missed down, missed in, and this pitch moving up and in on him. And if you're not looking fastball and ready to go there, you're not going to get to that pitch. It's sitting dead red on 3-0. He got to that 95-mile-an-hour heater. And we have a one-run ball game.
And because Arrieta's spot did not come up in that 6th inning, he'll get at least a start this 7th against Alex Gordon. He hits a roller to Rizzo, a little underhand flip. 1 out. 396 is Styles, and Roman will sing the stretch today. Now Infante. 0 for 2, a ground out and a fly out to right. This is the only matinee, everything else later tonight around baseball. How about the matchup in St. Louis? Dodgers and Cardinals this weekend. 2 first-place clubs. Outside, ball 1.
They're in St. Louis.
Yep, Bolsinger and Lackey tonight. Toward the hole, Castro can't get it. Wouldn't have mattered. It would have been a hit either way.
The Cardinals went through a little bit of a rough patch, but they've won 4 in a row now. Dodgers 5-5 over their last 10.
Orlando.
Sounds like a movie star, doesn't it? Paulo Orlando.
Yeah. He is from Brazil. Yeah. 29-year-old rookie. 3rd Brazilian-born major league player. Yan Gomes, Andre Rienzo. Kendrys Morales is on deck. He would bat for Madsen. Bunted foul.
Orlando with 5 triples. Would you said his first 3 hits?
First 3 career hits were triples.
Probably reminding folks in Kansas City of Willie Wilson doing his thing back in the day. It's just such a different club, an interesting team to watch because they're so different than, with all the talk over the last few years about Moneyball and on base and slugging and working counts and grinding out at bats. That's just not who they are. Their on base percentage is good because their batting average is so high. They don't walk.
Did you know that currently the only team that has an older roster in terms of average age is the Giants?
Older than the
Royals.
Really?
Yeah, they're not as young as you think. There's Calvin Herrera.
They just burst onto the scene, but they're not youngsters.
They've been around for a while, yep. 2-2 is bounced foul. I guess the one concern with the injuries, Matthew Trueblood wrote a piece recently for FoxSports.com and Baseball Prospectus that they rely very heavily on their starting position players, right? So that's both offensively and defensively. They have a lot of guys who play a lot, and that means they could be possibly susceptible to injury down the road.
They have had 4 pinch hit at bats all year.
Bounce to Bryant. Fair ball. They get 1, and that's it. There's another pinch hit plate appearance coming up. Morales.
Spazio out with the scouting report. How do you start him? How do you finish him? Morales has been good from both sides of the plate. .287 hitter as a left-handed batter this year with 5 long ones.
So according to Baseball Reference, JD, you go back to 2011. The position player, the average age 25.8, 26.1, 27, 28.3, 28.8 this year. So it's been kind of a similar group, and they've just gotten a little older, as most people do. Actually, I would say all of them get older, right?
Yeah, well, it's
That's
better
what
than
human
the
beings do
alternative,
is they
right?
age.
Yeah. Line. I'm going to try a little backdoor cutter here. No, I'm going to try to cut her in. It worked.
Swing and a miss. Got the chin strap beard working. Orlando the runner at first. 2 outs in the 7th. Cubs trailing by a run. Called strike. Throw to first late. Be a pretty low pitch count day for Arrieta, assuming he can get out of this inning fairly quickly. This will be his 90th pitch, and again, he's due to lead off in the bottom of this inning, so the Cubs will use a pinch hitter.
Chase breaking ball. Morales wouldn't bite. I'd be curious to know, and I'm sure we could look it up, average innings per start against the Royals. I imagine they're pretty high because of their approach. I imagine starters staying pretty long against this club. I mean, they might knock you around a little bit, force you out of the game that way, but in terms of just we got to get him out of there because of a rising pitch count. Now there's not so much with this early swing approach that they have.
He had a set at the belt. And his 2-2 popped into shallow center and perfectly placed by Morales. Orlando now at third. And the hitter will be Escobar.
He made a good pitch. He got in on him, jammed him, got weak contact, but Morales able to find a little safe haven out there in shallow center.
It's like Justin Grimm now is going to join Ross Cup.
Moustakas is next.
AT&T U-verse Multiview.
Ross Cup ready in the pen for Moustakas.
Line shot, center field, Fowler. Did he catch it? He did. Able to snag it. Ned Yost may want to look at it. But for now, that'll end the 7th inning. Let's see. Yep, he got it. Time for the stretch.
Take me out to the ball game. B96 radio personalities Styles and Roman.
Chicago! Let's sing it nice and loud so Harry can hear us. You ready? A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game.
Suite level. Watch a game with a former Cubs player. Listen to classic stories about life as a Cub with a luxury food and beverage package and a unique gift for each guest. The Legends Suite is the most exclusive way to watch a Cubs game. For more info, it's Cubs.com/suites. Kelvin Herrera is on. Pinch hitter Chris Coghlan, when the first offering, bounces to second for out number 1. Nice job, Styles and Roman from B96. They are Cubs season ticket holders.
How about that? Well, Herrera, boy, he can really light up the radar gun. Averages 97 miles an hour with the fastball. He's pitched to a 1.69 ERA this year. You see the walks pretty high, 9 free passes in 16 innings, but he's awfully tough to hit. And he's only allowed the 1 long one.
Okay, so last year, we just got to give you the quick numbers. As Russell digs in, swing and a miss. So the closer, Holland, saved 46, had a 144. Wade Davis won 9 and had an ERA of 1. Herrera made 70 appearances and had a 141. So they had 3 relief pitchers. That ball driven deep to left. Way back, and we are tied. It's 4-4. And by the way, last year, Herrera gave up 0 home runs.
Yeah, they have let some leads get away this year. Their save percentage is not particularly good. The bullpen ERA overall is outstanding, and they do have great arms. But how about that swing of the bat by Addison Russell? Doubled and scored earlier. Game tying home run here. That's your Ford home run replay. It's a changeup, which that Volquez had so much success with, but Volquez didn't throw any of them up there.
A 2-hopper off the bat of Fowler. 2 down. Cubs have come all the way back. 2-run homers Soler in the 6th. Solo shot Russell here in the 7th, who had a game-ending double the other night against the Nationals. Second homer allowed this year by Herrera. And again, he did not give up any in 70 innings last year. Ball 1 on Bryant. See what they have in mind on a 2-0. Looks like Perez wants a fastball, and Bryant breaks his bat, but a little looping line drive into right will put him on base with 2 outs.
At this stage of the ballgame, Ned Yost really doesn't play the matchup game right-left. He just turns it over to his trio of hard-throwing relievers. Rizzo will stand in there against Herrera.
So 12 of the last 14 runs the Cubs have scored have resulted from a home run.
Yeah, and how about the percentage of runs they've given up too?
Well, some people say the lesson is you need to manufacture more. I think the other answer is just keep hitting home runs.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You don't get style points. You score 4 or 5 runs a game with any degree of regularity, you're going to have a very good offensive year. I don't care if it's home runs or singles and doubles.
Outside for ball 2, 98. And that fastball.
Proof that you don't need to be big to throw hard. He's only 5'10".
The light is green.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Ball 4. So you seen that Yost on the bench. He recently commented that with this roster that's now been together for a bit, this is from MLB.com. He said, we've got a really good team. It makes my job 3 times easier. But I used to stand against the railing all the time. Now I just sit back in the dugout. And having said that, they're trying to end a 4-game losing streak. Way inside on Castro. No managerial job is easy, but knowing you've got a pretty set lineup, knowing when you have a lead late, you know pretty much how you're going to line up your bullpen. Most of your games you have a DH. I suppose figuratively you can kick up your feet as a manager sometimes.
Yeah, and then I guess the challenge is don't get caught unaware, right? I mean, because you still have to focus on every pitch, be ready to react to any situation. It was Joe Madness talking about Don Zimmer earlier this year and what he learned from Zim, and pretty simple stuff. And Zim said, just make sure you check your players before every pitch. Scan the field, make sure everybody's playing where they're supposed to be playing.
1-1 on Castro, fouled off 1-2. 100 miles an hour on that heater. Well, we barely blink when we see 100 because we see it so often these days.
Yeah, it used to be headline worthy when somebody threw 100 miles an hour. I mean, triple digits is still pretty special, but there's so many guys that are 96, 97, 98.
Negro Strope. Swing and a miss, and that'll end the inning. But Addison Russell ties it up with a long one to left. The 21-year-old rookie with number 4 on the year and a big one. And a little bit of a beverage shower out there in the bleachers. 4-4. Transportation for bike riders, use the Cubs courtesy bike check, and for drivers, the Cubs provide free parking and shuttle service on night and weekend games from 3900 North Rockwell. For details, visit Cubs.com. You've got to give Jake Arrieta a lot of credit. We thought he pitched better than the line will indicate today, but just to hang around and keep his team within shouting distance.
Yeah, that's 7 innings of 4-run baseball. A day where the wind's blowing out, victimized by 3 solo home runs. He didn't panic, continued to make his pitches, didn't walk anybody.
Moustakas, strike 1.
Starting pitching for the Cubs has been on a real nice roll here. .251 ERA over the last 17 games, with 11 quality starts coming into this one this afternoon.
Wade Davis. Two and one.
Cubs have gotten 7 innings from their starting pitcher in each of the last 3 games. John Lester on Wednesday punched out 10 in 7 innings, allowed just 1 earned run. Hendricks 7 innings, 1 run. Talk about making a manager's job easy. And you've got fresh arms in the bullpen, and you can mix and match. That's huge.
Quick pitch and a foul by Moustakas, who was taken right behind David Price to start the 07 draft. So Moustakas second overall in his draft. Hosmer third. The following year, Gordon was number 2 back in 05. Full count, 3-2.
Hochevar, wasn't he a first round pick? Runner off the corner
was the first overall pick in 06. Yep. Moustakas takes the leadoff walk.
So a bunch of high ceiling guys who kind of came along at their own pace, had some bumps along the way, but all matured together here.
Hochevar back and in the bullpen. Kane has 2 hits and has scored a run. Snag by Montero and the bounced slider. Here comes Chris Bosio.
He got Montero out, and he got Bosio's attention as well.
So while we wait, I've got a little trivia question for you. The Royals started up in 1969. I'm going to give you the first part of the answer. In terms of wins above replacement in Royals history, George Brett's number 1. 88 wins above replacement. Any guess as to who is number 2? This is pitchers, position players, anyone who's ever played for the Royals.
Kansas City Royals.
Number 2 on their all-time list.
Brett Saberhagen.
He is number 5.
Kevin Appier.
You are correct. Kevin Appier, 47 wins above replacement. Amos Otis, Willie Wilson, and Saberhagen rounding out the top 5.
Appier was there a good long while and had some really good years.
Yep. Fouled by Kane. Let's see. 13 years with the Royals. A couple of different stints. I didn't think you were going to get it.
Well, I went with longevity.
Yeah.
You know, the guy Frank White, Hal McRae come to mind. Frank White never spikes a rally. I remember Howard Cosell saying that on Monday Night Baseball.
And he held to make it 2-2. Each team with 4 runs on 8 hits. Driven deep, Fowler going back, and it's going to be right at the base of the wall. Moustakas a little slip around second. He's going to be set. Here's the throw by Castro. It is late. And the Royals retake the lead on a double by Lorenzo Cain. It's 5-4.
Cubs fight their way back to tie, and just like that, the Royals take the lead yet again. This is a backdoor breaking ball that's supposed to be off the outside edge. Is backed up on Strop. Leadoff walk, bites him hard.
They will walk Hosmer intentionally. A walk, a double, and another walk, this time on purpose. And they'll go after the catcher. Perez on deck.
I think if you were to ask Joe Madden what phase of the game is he most concerned with, despite the fact that the Cubs have made a lot of errors, it would be the bullpen. The bullpen has been too unpredictable for him.
Now you're just trying to limit the damage and keep the Royals from putting up a big crooked number. Inside, ball one.
This has bounced into 9 double plays, most on their club.
And won the count.
Tied for the most in the American League, those 9 GIDPs.
Inside. So 19 pitches made by Strop, 12 balls, 7 strikes. 4 of the balls were intentional. But still missed the strike zone too much here. 2-2. Struck him out on the slider. It's out number 1. I think that will be it for Strop. Here comes Joe Madden.
Perez with one of the lower walk rates in all of baseball. Got a little greedy there with a couple of men on base. Strop took advantage.
Going to be the left-hander James Russell. The Weber sauces and seasonings called to the pen. 2 on, 1 out. He'll face Alex Gordon.
Gordon, a left-handed hitter, has only batted .212 against left-handed pitching this year. There's no way Ned Yost is going to take him out of the ball game. He's got a 1-run lead, wants his best defensive team on the field. Gordon's had a good day. 1 out of 3, a home run, line to right the second time up, and rounded out first to pitcher covering last time.
Well, and you mentioned, you know, the lack of pinch hit appearances the Royals have had. By and large, Ned Yost is not going to take his guys out for pinch hitters unless it's the pitcher, which he did earlier. A pretty good bet when Joe goes to the matchup. He'll get that matchup. Two and 0. Gordon has a decision to make. He's got a player option at $12.5 million for next year, but he could opt for free agency instead. Grim is ready. Tim Buss, strength and conditioning coach down there. Not sure Lester Strode must be away from the team here. I saw Bussy out there the other night as well. 3-1. Swing and the miss. 3-2. Kane at second. He knocked in the go-ahead run. Hosmer at first. And now step off as Kane took an extra lead at second.
Yeah, and Hosmer with a huge lead down there at first base. Might be a good idea to try to tighten that up a little bit.
He struck him out. After a 2-0 start, he comes back and gets Gordon, and that'll be it for Russell. Short but effective day at the office for James Russell, and it'll be Justin Grimm. Weber's sauces and seasonings. Call to the pen. We'll be back. 5-4 Kansas City. Seen Strop, Russell, and now Justin Grimm.
You see that one home run allowed. That came in his last outing on a Monday against the Nationals. Listen, Ramos took him deep. Proved to be the game winner. 2-1 Nationals win. 1-1 with a 123 now.
And the breaking ball for a strike on Infante. Held up. One and two.
Baseball, like life, series of compromises, trade-offs. See Rizzo playing way off the line there. Allows Hosmer to take a very aggressive lead, so he's probably going to score on any double, but you're playing where you think the hitter's going to hit the ball. Defending the field is the priority.
Line in the center. It's going to hold up. Oh, Fowler dropped it. And they're going to get another run. A little slip there, and they're going to send him. And 2 runs will score.
Oh my.
That hurts. That's an error on Dexter Fowler. Looked like he thought that ball was going to hold up more than it did. And he got a glove on it, booted it, and then slipped.
Yeah, he just a bad read. He's not, kind of working his way across the outfield instead of coming in on that one. Maybe the ball was knuckling a little bit on him. It was sharply hit. And by the time he makes a break on it, he's trying to catch it down around his knees and cannot make the play. Made a spectacular play out there in the 7th. And then to make matters worse, can't pick it up cleanly. Down he goes, and they add on another one.
So now the Cubs trail by 3. And it's Orlando. Cut and a miss.
First error of the year charged to Fowler.
That'll close the book on Strop. He gave up 3 runs, 1 earned. Curve strike. 1 and 2. Gerard Dyson is on deck. Runner goes swing and a miss. Strike 3, and the inning is finally over as the Royals get 3, couple unearned runs included. It's now 7-4 in the 8th. Yankees here. One of the best setup men in the business, Wade Davis. You go back to last year, 91 appearances and 0.78 earned run average over his last 92 innings.
Yeah, pretty filthy stuff. No earned runs allowed this year. No home runs this year or last.
Cubs trail by 3. One strike on Montero. 0-2.
Fastball, cutter, curve for Davis. 20 scoreless innings so far. Picked up some saves along the way. Holland spending some time on the DL.
Swing and a miss on strike 3. Ball gets away from Perez briefly, but he'll get it to Hosmer in time. Davis at one time pitched and was a starter and a reliever at various times for Joe Madden in Tampa Bay. Edwin Jackson is up. Lester Strode, by the way, has a family graduation. That's why he is away from the club. And it's Soler with 1 out. He hit a 2-run homer on a 3-0 pitch in the 6th inning. Game. The Cubs would then tie it on the Addison Russell blast in the 7th. The Royals with 3, 2 unearned in the top of the 8th.
Yeah, you know, and never fun to get beat late, but you hate it when you're sloppy late. Leadoff walk, big error, contributing to that 3-run Royal inning. Now the Cubs got a lot of fighting to do, and they don't have a whole lot of time left.
There's the cutter. It's 2-2. And he got him on a fastball at 97.
Busted 97 by Soler. It's down. He can probably get to it up there. A little tougher.
From the stretch, it's 2-0. Mike Baxter's jumped into the on-deck circle. Now 2-1. 34,273. Paid crowd today here at Wrigley Field.
Royals are 20-0 when leading after 7 innings this year. Cubs are 18-0 in that same situation.
Yeah, most teams are pretty good.
Yeah.
called. Strike three. Davis fans aside here in the 8th. We'll go to the 9th. It's 7-4 Royals.
At any moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcast, statcast, and more. Get MLB.com at bat for your smartphone or tablet.
New pitcher, new batter. It is Edwin Jackson on the mound, and Gerard Dyson batting for Wade Davis.
Edwin on for the 11th time, 2-1 with a 386. Arrieta, Strop, Russell, Grimm, and now Jackson for the 9th.
It would be safe to say the Cubs bats would rather not see Wade Davis again this weekend.
3 punch-outs.
Jackson throws it away. Dyson's going to move to second. That ball underneath a chair in the bullpen. And Soler up and firing. So it's a single and an E1.
Yeah, Dyson can be a real weapon for the Royals late in a tight ball game because of his speed. Here he drops down a pretty bunt. Johnson has to hurry the play.
And here's Escobar.
Pretty good chance if he doesn't reach second on the air, he would have been looking to steal second base anyway.
Escobar stabbed at it. Strike one. There's Greg Holland.
So if we put the lie detector on Holland right now and said, do you want your club to score another run or do you want the save situation? I wonder what he would say. Or more importantly, I wonder what the lie detector would say.
Yeah, we've talked about this before. You know what he would say,
right?
Is I want my team to score as many runs as possible, but most closers like to pile up saves. Third season as a Cub for Edwin Jackson. Struggled as a starter his first 2 years. This is his 11th relief appearance in 2015. And his 1-2 lined into center and a base hit. Dyson around third. Fowler's throw not in time. 8-4.
And now with a 4-run lead, nobody out. Do you wonder if Ned Yost gets another arm going out there in that bullpen to save Holland? Does not appear to be inclined to do that right yet.
Well, Holland hasn't worked in 4 days. Bounce to first, step on the bag, got to tag him at second. Look at this. Finally, they get Escobar.
The more throws you make, the more likely somebody is to botch it. And you're able to finally put him away.
Did you write it down as it was happening?
No, I just watched it unveil. If there's artistic merit for a rundown, the Cubs would not get high points for that one.
Three, 6, 3, 4,
6-5,
6-5 double play. 3, 6, 3, 4, 6, 5.
Jenny, I got your number.
Kane with the go-ahead RBI double in the 8th.
Rains back. So this guy started playing baseball when?
When he was in high school.
Somebody just identified he's just a real good athlete, and they said, "Here, try this." It's pretty amazing.
Coming down. Two balls, 2 strikes. The Royals on the cover of Sports Illustrated this week. A Verducci story about Kane. It's a sophomore year in high school in Florida. He was on the JV team. He sat on the bench his junior year. At his first practice, Verducci writes, he showed up in a collared shirt, jeans, and basketball shoes. He did not have a protective cup as he played third base for 2 weeks.
It's a bold choice.
He called his play early on in the Brewers minor league system embarrassing. But once the game started, he began to hit, and the rest is history.
Yeah, you know, and I don't know if they do it so much anymore, but years ago, you know, scouts they would you know, find a big athletic kid, put him on a clock, and if he could really run, and so we'll start there with an athlete, and then we'll teach him how to play baseball.
Ball 4. Interesting. Kane.
Yeah, he walked his bat all the way over to the dugout.
The bat over to the bat boy. And then as he flipped the gloves, the bat boy dropped the bat. I don't think I've ever seen that on a walk.
I have not either.
He takes off for second. The throw is going to be late. That's his 9th steal. Yeah, this Royals team, they do not let up on the gas pedal. They're already leading by 4, and they're trying to get some more here in the 9th.
And no hesitation for Kane. He's got about a third of their club stolen bases. Even with a wet track, he takes off, makes it fairly easily.
This week's Sports Illustrated, and of course they go out and have their longest losing streak of the year. So some would say the SI Jinx is alive and well. In on the hands, bounce to third. And a little bit of a collision there. Both guys, I think, are all right. The out is recorded as Hosmer ends up on the seat of his pants to end the inning. So they add a run to their lead. And it's 8-4 Royals. Cubs kick off the series with the Miami Marlins starting at 6 on Comcast Sportsnet. A 3-city trip: Miami, Washington, D.C., and Detroit. And here is Greg Holland.
7 out of 8 in the save department with a 2.61 ERA.
Not a save situation as he faces Mike Baxter. Pinch hitter bounces foul. Didn't save my scorecards from spring training, but I seem to recall the Cubs got to Holland in a spring training game and surprise. Not that it matters, but
that does ring a bell.
A roller backhanded by Infante. Crossbody throw for the out. There's another rainbow. 2 in a week here at the old ballpark. Russell tied the game with a homer in the 7th. And a swing and a miss. Collins from Marion, North Carolina, went to Western Carolina University. Pitcher's a little different. It looks like when he holds the ball in his glove before he gets set, he doesn't put it completely into the pocket.
Yeah, he's a little funky too. Watch the way he kind of drops towards the first base side a little bit when he delivers the baseball.
He holds it out toward the end. A little tap and a swing and a miss by Russell. Be up to Dexter Fowler.
If you were to rank the stuff of the 3 guys they use to finish off games, he would probably come in 3rd.
Strike 1 to Fowler.
Tough day for Dexter. Nothing for 4 and a critical error in the outfield.
Look out. That goes flying over the first base dugout. Oh, and 2. Ventura and Wada tomorrow night. Guthrie and Hamill on Sunday afternoon. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that's the ball game. So the Cubs come back late to tie it, but then the Royals score 4 times in the final 2 innings. 3 of the 4 runs were unearned. And they beat the Cubs in the opener 8-4.
Yeah, it looked like the Cubs, didn't look like the Cubs did make a nice comeback to tie this ball game. We're in position to get something done late here, but a little let down by Strop, and the Royals bullpen lights out here. 5 of the 6 batters faced by Davis and Holland strike out. Cubs punch out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 times this afternoon.
So our Binny's Beverage Depot toast of the game, it's going to be Lorenzo Cain. He went to the plate 5 times. He reached 4 times. Ultimately had the game-winning RBI double off Pedro Strop in the 8th.
One of many Royals who got it done offensively today. Gordon, Perez, Escobar all hit home runs. Good day for the Royals as they break their 4-game losing streak.
So that'll wrap up our coverage. A final score: the Royals 8, the Cubs 4. I should say from the ballpark. It wraps up our coverage. We'll be back with you Monday night from Miami. Cubs and Marlins to start a 3-game series. And now for JD and our entire crew here at Wrigley Field, we're going to send it to our downtown Chicago studios for Blue Cross Blue Shield Cubs post-game live next.